Hi, and welcome to this new tutorial. And today I want to talk about transition on the ESP44, especially in techno genre and techno music. We have, of course, a lot of way to achieve transition between one track and another, or between sections of the same song. And today I want to show you some of my techniques, not, of course, all my techniques, because as I said, we have a lot of ways to achieve transition, and it's strictly dependent on what is going on, your mood, your track, your genre, and so on. Now, I have here a bunch of pattern, and to me, one bank is one track, okay? So every bank contains one single track. Usually they are one, two, maybe three pattern maximum, because I use a lot the mute in conjunction with the effects. So I don't need to arrange my track into the pattern area, okay? Now, another thing it's important to say is my usage of effects. The two bus are routed in parallel, and right now I don't have any effects on the master bus. So this means that the blue ones are the bus 1 and the purple one the bus 2. I usually divide the two buses by a frequency method, so the low mid part of the spectrum is on bus 1, and the mid high part of the frequency spectrum is on bus 2. This means that we have bass, kicks, and so on bus 1, and tonal stuff, melodic stuff, hi-hat, and so on bus 2. This way I have separate controls of two parts of the spectrums as two parts of the track. Now, let's say we want to go from there to there. Okay? First of all, this is a preparation pattern, and I show you why later. And this is entire pattern. Okay? I usually have a intro pattern just to give myself the ability to switch the track and prepare my mute, because we don't have the option to save the mute state across different banks, so you have to do that manually every time. Now we are on pattern 1, and the first thing I want to do is to use a filter to cut out the high frequency. There's also a little bit of LFO going on here. And now on bus 2, this is really the classic trick, using the washing delay. I can go up. And the important thing is to go really high with the feedback. Then switch the pattern. And take advantage the tail. Now maybe let's get rid of the let's fade out. Now, maybe we can introduce a little bit of reverb or delay into this intro, just to spice things up. And meanwhile, I can switch to the correct pattern and mute everything that isn't playing right now. Or maybe we can leave also only the kick on. And when I'm ready, switch the pattern. And go, right? So you have to be maybe you can cut out the delay when the kick hits, or later. This is up to you, this is up to the track. In this case, it's better to cut it out, but you get the point, okay? You can switch the track by using two buses, and on the lower part of the spectrum you can use a filter, and on the higher part you can use a reverb or a delay to achieve this technique of washing delay. And the tail is there when you switch patterns, so you don't have a raw cut on your track. The second technique I use often to make different transition is to use, let's switch on this pattern, the first one, and I have here something that is out of the bus. This is a white noise, a riser, and you can use sample like risers, snare rolls, and other thing to transition between your pattern. It's ungated, so I can launch whenever I want. And let's say we want to switch from this one to this one. So maybe this could be the start of another track. In this case, I have the track in another banks because the BPM, the difference of BPM, but if you have different tracks with the same BPM, you can of course use one bank only for the pattern. So let's try to go from there to there by using a different technique. Now I want to use bus 2, and in bus 2 I want to use the stopper. So basically the idea is to take out all the high frequency of the track, and meanwhile triggering this sample here. Okay, now let's try. If you check, the stopper is 4 on 1, so this means it lasts for 4 bars, pretty long, because you have to trigger something manually and to switch stuff, so you need time, right? So let's now, and now we have our new kick in the new track. And this is pretty easy. Once you save in your pad area your samples, you know that they are here. And of course, you can create a bank specific only for the kind of samples, so you can hit different stuff, no matter if you are in a bank or in another bank. So this time we had a stopper on the higher part of the spectrum, and then we can trigger the noise or the transition sample. The last technique I want to show you today is using a resampling part of the track. So basically I have this pattern here, the same as usual, and here I have this resampled version, heavily affected with filter and distortion and blah blah blah, and I want to use that as a transition part to go there. Okay, basically we can use pretty much every effect we want, and it's important to put this sample here, which is this one, in a bus that we want to use. So maybe we want to use different effects every time, so I will put that into bus 2, so I can use and switch effects during the session and not only use the fixed effects. But this is up to you. I prefer to use the effects like that. So I don't know, maybe we can start to use the tape echo. And then switch. I can really play with the and when I'm ready, go. Okay, we can build some useful stuff with the effects, not only with the echo, also with delays. Remember, you can play with the feedback, and when you are in a feedback loop, you can really go crazy. And then, boom. Alright? Now, I hit the pad sooner as I will do, but you got the point, okay? You can use the resample part of the same track and treat it with other effects, because the basic effects are baked in, okay? So this is a technique useful if you want to use some kind of specific kind of effects, but you want to create a transition or B section or heavily effect section of the same track to go and fade away and start the new track. So this is it. I hope this tutorial will be useful for you. These are only some ideas to transition from one pattern to another, or in the same track, but on the different part of the same track. Let me know your strategy to achieve transition below in the comment. So curious about that, because I pass so much time studying new way to achieve interesting transition. So for sure a lot of you guys have your own way of working. If you need samples and mixing or mastering services, you can check my Gumroad page. There's a new pack for the ESP404 out called Digital Pulse. It's a project pack, so check it out. There's also a free version of that pack. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!